She said, "I'm going to a protest downtown. Don't wait up." I said, "Be safe." The next morning, I sent the bail money to her friends instead of her. The note I included made her entire group turn against her. I, 34 male, need to get this off my chest while it's still fresh. My girlfriend Kendra, 29, and I had been together for 3 years, living together for the last 18 months. She worked part-time at a nonprofit while pursuing her master's in social work. I'm a project manager at a tech company. Nothing fancy, but stable. Kendra was always passionate about causes. Environmental stuff, social justice, animal rights, you name it, she had strong opinions about it. I respected that about her. What I didn't respect was how she'd turned activism into her entire personality while expecting me to bankroll it. See, her part-time job paid maybe $1,200 a month. Her student loans, car payment, and share of rent came to about $1,800. Guess who covered the difference? Every month, same story. "Babe, fighting for change doesn't pay well, but someone has to do it." Fine. I believed in supporting my partner's dreams. But things shifted about 6 months ago. She started going to more protests. What used to be once a month became every weekend, then multiple times a week. She'd come home energized, talking about the movement and how they were making real change. But she also started coming home with expensive protest gear, specialized gas masks, tactical backpacks, designer protest wear. Yes, that's a thing. "Where'd you get the money for this?" I asked once, holding up a $300 jacket. "The movement provides, we support each other," she said, then quickly changed the subject. Last month, things escalated. She joined some group called the Collective Action Network. Suddenly, she was at planning meetings 4 nights a week. Her Instagram became nothing but protest photos and revolutionary quotes. She quit her part-time job because it was compromising her values. "So you're unemployed now?" I asked. "I'm a full-time activist. That's my job." "That doesn't pay rent." "God, Mason, not everything is about money. Some of us care about more than our bank accounts." Right? Easy to say when someone else is paying your bills. 2 weeks ago, she told me about a big protest downtown. Something about affordable housing, which I actually agreed with. The city's rent prices were insane. "Just be careful," I said. "I saw on the news these have been getting pretty heated." She rolled her eyes. "That's just media fear-mongering. We're peaceful protesters. The only violence comes from the cops." The night of the protest, last Tuesday, she got ready like she was going to war. All black outfit, that expensive jacket, her fancy gas mask hanging from her belt. She'd packed a backpack with water, snacks, and what looked like first aid supplies. "I might be late. Don't wait up," she said, kissing my cheek. "Be safe," I said. She smirked. "Safety is complicity, babe." Whatever that meant. I went to bed around midnight. She still wasn't home, but that wasn't unusual lately. Woke up at 3 a.m. to my phone buzzing. Unknown number. "Is this Mason?" "Yeah, who's this?" "I'm calling from downtown detention center. Kendra listed you as her emergency contact. She's been arrested and needs bail." My stomach dropped. "Is she okay? What happened?" "She's fine. Multiple charges including failure to disperse, resisting arrest, and destruction of property. Bail is set at $5,000. Destruction of property? That didn't sound like peaceful protesting. "Can I talk to her?" "One moment." Some shuffling, then Kendra's voice trying to sound casual. "Hey babe, crazy night. Can you bring the bail money? Cash only. And hurry, this place is gross." "Kendra, what the hell happened? Destruction of property?" "It's trumped up charges. We were peaceful." "Look, just bring the money. I'll explain everything later." $5,000? I don't have that in cash. Use the emergency fund. ATM max is like $1,000, but you can go to multiple banks. Oh, and call Jasper, his number's in my phone. Tell him to get the others out too. We need everyone back ASAP. "Others?" "My crew. 6 of us got arrested. We need to regroup for tomorrow." "Tomorrow? You're planning another protest?" "Mason, focus. The money. Jasper's number is under J Money in my contacts. Make sure he knows about the backup plan." "Backup plan?" "Kendra, gotta go. Love you. Hurry." Click. I sat there in the dark processing. She wanted me to drain our emergency fund, the one I'd built over 3 years, to bail her out so she could go right back to another protest. And apparently coordinate with someone named J Money about a backup plan. Something felt off. I grabbed her phone. She'd left it charging. Protesters don't bring phones, apparently. Found J Money in her contacts. His text thread with her was interesting. 3 days ago, package arrived. Quality stuff should be enough for significant impact. 2 days ago, media contacts confirmed they'll be there to film everything. Day of protest. Remember, stick to the plan. Property damage gets attention. Make it count. I scrolled up further. More messages about direct action, escalation tactics, and maximum visibility. Then I found the group chat. Can leadership. Kendra was apparently one of 6 core organizers. They weren't just attending protests, they were orchestrating them, and specifically planning illegal activities for media attention. One message from Kendra stood out. Mason still thinks I'm just a participant, lol. Useful having a tech bro boyfriend, endless funding, and 0 questions. Tech bro, endless funding, 0 questions? I kept reading. Found discussions about bail funds, but not what you'd think. They were strategizing about whose partners' parents had money, who would pay fastest, who was too invested to say no. My name came up a lot. Mason will pay. Mason's good for it. Mason's too guilty about his privilege to refuse. Then I found the kicker. A message from 2 weeks ago. Kendra, if anyone gets arrested, call your money person immediately. Act scared, apologize, promise to explain later. They'll pay first, ask questions later. We regroup at Jasper's after. Phase 2 starts next day. Someone named Felix replied, what if they say no? Kendra, they won't. Trust me. 3 years with Mason, man would bail me out of anything. Probably apologize for not doing it faster, Elmeo. I set the phone down. Hands surprisingly steady. My girlfriend wasn't just lying about her role in these protests. She was using me as a personal ATM and laughing about it with her friends. Planning to get arrested knowing I'd pay, already scheduling the next illegal activity. I made coffee. It was 4 a.m. now, but I wasn't going back to sleep. Here's what I did next. Update 1. So after reading Kendra's messages and finding out I was basically a joke to her and her revolutionary friends, I sat with my coffee and made a plan. First, I screenshot everything. Every message, every group chat, every mention of me as their personal bail fund. Downloaded it all to my laptop and backed it up to a cloud drive. Then I looked up the other 5 arrested with her. Found them through her social media. She'd tagged them in tons of posts. There was Jasper, 26, the apparent ringleader. Felix, 24, some rich kid playing anarchist. Sage, 27, trust fund baby who unironically called herself a chaos witch. River, 25 NB, actually seemed decent from their posts. And Amara, 28, who I'd met once and seemed to genuinely care about the causes. Here's the thing. Looking at their profiles, I realized something. Jasper, Felix, and Sage all had money. Family money. Jasper's dad owned 3 car dealerships. Felix's parents were lawyers. Sage literally posted about her trust fund paying for her activism journey. But in the group chat, they were all planning to call their normie partners or parents to bail them out, save their own money for the cause. They were scamming everyone who cared about them. River and Amara seemed different. Their messages in the chat were about actual change, questioning the property damage tactics. They got shouted down by Kendra and the others. Diversity of tactics, Kendra had written. If you're not ready for real action, maybe you're not ready for leadership. I made a decision. At 8 a.m. I went to 5 different ATMs and withdrew $5,000 cash. Then I drove downtown to the detention center, but I didn't go in, not yet. First, I found a print shop, wrote up a simple note. This bail money comes with full transparency. Attached are screenshots showing how Can leadership, including Kendra, views their supporters as walking ATMs too blinded by privilege to see we're being scammed. They planned these arrests. They're laughing at us. River and Amara, you seem to actually care about change, so here's your bail. The others can call their trust funds. Mason. Printed 5 copies. Attached the most damning screenshots to each. Then I went to the detention center, asked to bail out River and Amara specifically. Not Kendra? The clerk asked, checking the list. Just these 2. Paid their bail. Handed the envelopes to the clerk. Can you make sure each of the 6 gets one of these? It's important information about their case. She shrugged. Sure. I left and went to work. Turned my phone off. Had a normal day. Presented in 2 meetings. Grabbed lunch with a coworker. Acted like my world hadn't just shifted. Turned my phone back on at 5 p.m. 47 missed calls, 63 texts, 15 voicemails. The first few texts were confusion. Babe, what's happening? They said you bailed out others but not me. Then anger. What the hell, Mason? This isn't funny. Get back here now. Then panic. They showed us papers. What did you do? This is a violation of privacy. You had no right to go through my phone. Mason, answer me. The voicemails were better. Kendra's voice getting increasingly unhinged. Mason, I don't know what you think you found, but you're taking it out of context. Just come get me and we'll talk. Are you seriously leaving me here? Over some jokes? You know how we talk, it doesn't mean anything. River just called their roommate, said you gave them screenshots of private conversations. That's probably illegal. You're in so much trouble. Sage's dad is here and he's furious. He saw the messages. This is your fault. My favorite was from around 3 p.m. Jasper's dad came to bail him out and Jasper showed him the screenshots to prove it was taken out of context and his dad left him here. He said Jasper can use his trust fund if he has one. This is literally ruining lives. Are you happy now? Actually, yeah, kind of. But the best part was the text from unknown numbers starting around 4 p.m. Other members of CAN. Is this Mason? This is Derek from CAN. Did you really share private communications with the police? Hey, Amara gave me your number. Said you're the one who exposed the leadership. Thank you. I've been feeling weird about how they operate for months. River forwarded the screenshots. Holy shit. I donated $500 last month that I couldn't afford because Kendra said it was for bail funds. But she was planning to have you pay anyway? This is Carlos from CAN. Just wanted you to know that about 20 of us are meeting tomorrow to discuss restructuring without the current leadership. You did us a favor. Around 6 p.m. got a call from an unknown number. Almost didn't answer, but something made me pick up. Is this Mason? Male voice, older, tired. Yeah. This is Richard, Jasper's father. I wanted to thank you. Thank me? I've been enabling that kid for years, bailing him out of every stupid situation, thinking he was fighting for something real. Those messages you shared, he called me a walking checkbook with a guilty conscience. His own father. I'm sorry, don't apologize. I left him there, told him to use his trust fund if he wants out. Time he faced some real consequences. His mother thinks I'm being harsh, but anyway, thank you. He hung up, checked social media. The CAN page was imploding. Members posting screenshots, demanding transparency about where donation money went. People sharing their own stories about being manipulated by leadership. But still nothing from Kendra directly since the voicemail stopped. Then at 11 p.m., a knock at the door. Update 2. So that knock at 11 p.m.? Yeah, it was Kendra. Finally out on bail, looking like she'd aged 5 years in 2 days. Bailed yourself out? I asked, not opening the door all the way. My mom, she said quietly. Can I come in? To get your stuff? Sure. Her face went through about 6 emotions. My stuff? Mason, we need to talk about what you did. What I did. I exposed the truth. That's literally what you claim to fight for, right? You destroyed everything. The movement, my friendships, my reputation. No, Kendra. You did that. I just made sure everyone knew about it. She tried pushing past me. I didn't budge. You can't just kick me out. I live here. You lived here. Past tense. Your name's not on the lease. I have rights. You have until tomorrow noon to get your things. I'll be here to supervise. Where am I supposed to go? Maybe Jasper's place? Oh wait, his dad cut him off. Felix? No, his parents lawyered up. Sage? Heard her trust fund got frozen pending a financial review. Guess you'll have to figure it out like us regular people do. The mask slipped then. The passionate activist, the caring girlfriend, gone. Just pure entitlement and rage. You ruined my life over some texts? I was building something important. You were building a scam, using people who cared about you, and laughing about it. It was strategy. You wouldn't understand. You just sit at your computer all day making money for corporations while we're trying to change the world. With my money. God, you're such a capitalist cliché. Sorry I tried to redistribute wealth from someone who clearly has too much. There it was. The truth. I wasn't her partner. I was her personal wealth redistribution target. Get a hotel. Come back tomorrow. Bring friends if you want, but you're not staying here. She tried tears then. Please, Mason, I love you. We can work through this. You called me a tech bro with endless funding and zero questions. That's not love, Kendra. That's exploitation. One text, taken out of context. 47 texts, actually. I counted. She stood there for a moment, then her phone buzzed. She checked it and her face went pale. What? I asked. Nothing. Just the group chat. I found out later what it was. The CAN members had voted. Kendra, Jasper, Felix, and Sage were officially expelled from the organization. River and Amara were appointed interim leaders. The first thing they did was open the books. Turns out the leadership had been skimming donations for personal use. That $300 jacket? Bought with funds meant for legal support. Kendra left that night. Came back the next day with her mom, who tried to guilt me. She's passionate about justice. Maybe too passionate, but is that really worth throwing away 3 years? Your daughter used me as a piggy bank while mocking me to her friends. So yes. Kendra grabbed her things in silence. Mostly clothes, some books, her protest gear. As she was leaving, she turned at the door. You know what the funny thing is? I actually did love you. In my way. You were just too boring to respect. Cool. Your way of loving people sucks. She left. I changed the locks that afternoon, but the aftermath kept coming. River reached out a few days later, wanted to thank me in person. We met for coffee. You saved the movement, they said. We knew something was off but couldn't prove it. Kendra and Jasper were like cult leaders, manipulating everyone. They told me what happened after the mass expulsion. Turns out, Kendra and her crew had been planning something big. Not just protests, actual domestic terrorism stuff. Property destruction on a massive scale. They'd been gathering materials, the packages mentioned in the texts. We found their storage unit, River said, reported it to authorities. They're under investigation now. Seriously? Yeah, we're cooperating fully. This isn't what we signed up for. We wanted change, not whatever they were planning. That explained why Kendra had gone dark on social media. Last I checked, her accounts were deleted. Felix's parents released a statement distancing themselves from their son. Jasper's dad went further, offered to fund CAN's legal defense fund as long as the new leadership maintained transparency. Sage's family put her in a treatment program. Apparently, this wasn't her first scam. And Kendra heard through mutual friends she'd moved back with her mom. Tried starting her own revolutionary collective, but no one would join. Hard to build a movement when everyone knows you're a grifter. Last week, got a letter from a lawyer. She was threatening to sue for illegal eviction and emotional damages. I forwarded it to my lawyer friend who laughed. She has no case. Also, she might want to worry more about the federal investigation than civil court. Federal investigation. My ex went from fighting for affordable housing to being investigated by the feds. That escalated quickly. But here's the weirdest part. I kept getting thank you messages from CAN members who felt used, from parents who finally saw through their kids' manipulation, from partners who'd been in my exact position. One message stood out. From Amara. Mason, I wanted you to know we're doing real work now. Actual community support, legal protests, transparent finances. What happened sucked, but it needed to happen. The movement is stronger without grifters. Thanks for having the courage to expose them. P.S. Kendra's new Instagram is @RevolutionaryKendra, if you want to laugh. 12 followers and dropping. I looked it up. She was posting the same revolutionary quotes, calling for uprising, claiming to be a political prisoner of the capitalist system. The only comments were from bot accounts, from 10K followers to 12, from leadership to laughingstock, from my apartment to her mom's basement. Sometimes the universe delivers justice better than any revenge plan could. I'm doing fine now. Dating someone new, a teacher who thinks protests are important but also has a job and pays her own bills. Novel concept. We joke that my only red flag is dating someone who unironically called herself a revolution princess. Worth noting, I still support affordable housing initiatives, still donate to causes I believe in, just with a lot more scrutiny about where the money goes. And if anyone ever tells you they're too passionate about justice to work, run. Run fast, run far, and definitely don't give them access to your bank account. Final update. Kendra tried reaching out last month. New number, apologetic tone. Said she'd done the work and realized her mistakes. Wanted to meet up, explain her side. I replied with one word, no. She sent 12 more texts over 2 days. about growth, accountability, forgiveness, new perspectives. I blocked the number. River texted me yesterday. The federal investigation concluded. No charges for the reformed CAN members who cooperated. But Kendra, Jasper, Felix, and Sage, all facing federal charges for conspiracy to commit domestic terrorism. Guess she'll get to fight the system after all. From inside a federal courtroom. Funny how that worked out.